The person who destroyed Coco's home is standing outside a shop window, watching her. They both locked eyes, and she bolts. No explanation, no warning, just gone. Sprinting through the streets of a witch township she's never set foot in before. And because that is who these girls are, Tedia, Richie, and Agat don't hesitate. They run after her. One alley later, they are not in the same township anymore. What's good, everyone? It's your girl Mel with Mel Otaku Talk, and today we are closing out Volume 1 of Witch Hat Atelier with a Chapter 5 manga recap or a little bit of an analysis. If this is your first time on the channel or your first time hearing about this series, stay with me. I will get you where you need to be. And if you've been doing a little bit of reading along or you've been reading along, welcome back, because this chapter earns its place as a volume final. Chapter 5 introduces the Draconic Labyrinth arc. Chapters 1 and 2 were known as the introduction arc, or sometimes it's called the prologue arc. Chapters 3 and 4 was the first pentagram test arc. Well, chapter 5 through 7 will be the Draconic Labyrinth arc, and like I said, chapter 5 wraps up volume 1. Here's what you need to know. Witch Hat Atelier is set in a world where magic is everywhere. Carriages are pulled by flying horses, springs of pure water, cobblestones that glow underfoot. The world runs on it, and everyone believes that only witches, people born with the power, can use it. That belief is a lie. Magic is accessible to anyone who knows the right ink and the right designs. The witch world guards that secret fiercely, because the last time it was common knowledge, the world was at war. So the knowledge is locked away and ordinary people are kept in the dark. Coco is an ordinary girl who found that out the hard way. When she was a child, a masked figure at a festival sold her a picture book filled with spells and a special ink pen. Years later, she traced one of those spells, a forbidden one, and it petrified her mother and her entire family. To have any hope of undoing what she did and to protect the secret she now carries, Coco was taken in by a witch named Kefri. She now trains at his atelier along with 3 other apprentices, Tedia, Richie, and Agat. Chapter 5 opens with Coco still learning the basics. She's practicing the fire sigil, one of 4 primary sigils that form the foundation of all magic, and struggling to hold it steady. Fire without balance consumes the seal itself. That tension between power and precision is Coco's defining challenge, and this chapter is going to test it in ways she does not see coming. Magic in this story has a living origin, and Coco is learning this in another morning lesson where she's working with the fire sigil. Her lines are coming out thin and unsteady, and Kefri recognizes the problem. The pen she is using is one of his old ones, not suited to her hands, so he makes a decision. They will travel to the magic stationers to find her one of her own. The trip takes the group to Kalhn, the largest witch settlement, and this is where the story opens up. Kalhn was built by witches on a shoal in the middle of the river, constructed around a watchtower meant to hold back creatures called mole worms in the surrounding marsh woods. No bridge was ever built. No one needed one. Think about what that detail tells you. This is a world built entirely around the needs and abilities of those who practice magic, and ordinary people simply do not factor into it. The stationer they visit is a shop called the Starry Sword, run by an experienced craftsman named Mr. Noah and his grandson, Tartar. And this is where the chapter gives us something that goes deeper than a shopping trip. Mr. Noah takes Coco to the top of a massive silverwood tree growing through the center of his shop and shows her where conjuring ink actually comes from. When the healthy branches of a silverwood wither, they go black. Left that way, they're poisonous to the tree and to the people. But drain a blackened branch in boiling water, siphon off the excess, and what you have is a raw wood cure, the root of magic itself. Ordinary ink is soot. Conjuring ink is the blood of a living tree. This is what Coco is learning on this trip. The silverwood tree itself in this story has its own legend attached to it. That silverwood once fell in love with a witch and gave up its branches and its cure willingly. The chapter did not have to include this information. It is there because the world is telling you that magic is not just a system of rules. It has a living origin. Something gives so that something else can be made. That's good writing. This is very good writing in the story. Now, let's take a look at what I like to call the figure is real. And we're talking about this mysterious person that we can say at this point that did target Coco. It is on the same visit to Cal that everything begins to shift. As they were walking through the town, Coco catches a glimpse of a familiar figure. And of course, it was a tall pointed cap, long covering hanging down over the face, the exact same hat with the eye spiral in the middle that she noticed when she bought the picture book off of the person when she was younger. She's seen this figure before. This is the same figure that was on the Dada range after she passed her apprentice test. And going further back, like I said, at the festival when she was a child, the one who put the forbidden magic in her hands. Coco says nothing to the group, but when the figure appears again through the window of the Starry sword shop, watching her directly, they lock eyes and she runs. That impulse to chase, to confront, to understand what is happening to her, what drives the chapter's final movement, and it caused everyone around her. Coco chases and pulls Teddy and Richie and Agat along with her in an alley none of them recognized. Well, it went like this. Coco sprinted off, and Tedia and Richie noticed it along with Agat. Tedia grabs Agat's arm, and they go after Coco. And they ended up in an alley that they no longer recognize. The stone is wrong. The architect changed without them even noticing any type of portaling or any type of, how should we say, any type of transfer magic happening that they could notice. And when Teddy rises above the group, she uses the levitation to find their bearings to see if she could get a better visual from the top, and she comes back in a panic. What should be noted regarding the events that just happened is that the type of teleportation magic that happened to them is forbidden. Now, what did Teddy see? Well, let's just say she said this. They ask her, what's wrong? She says, bad news. Really bad news. We're definitely not in Cal anymore. We've got to get out of here. And then she is like, run. What did Teddy see? Let's just say what she saw also saw her. The girls turned, and above the structure, they have all, like I said, been transported or teleported. And what is now above them is a dragon. Let's talk about this for a second. The rules Coco learned in the atelier, that teleportation is forbidden, that the witch world has order, the rules do not protect her out here. Whoever did this was deliberately using forbidden magic. Someone moved 4 apprentice girls without their knowledge, without their consent, and placed them somewhere dangerous. This is the consequence of Coco chasing the figure, and that consequence falls on everyone around her, not just her. And then the masked figure speaks. Looking down at the 4 of them, it delivers a single declaration to Coco. You are our one and only hope. Not a warning, not a threat, a claim over Coco's future. And this is where Volume 1 ends, not with Coco in danger by accident, but with Coco exactly where someone intended her to be. Now, there is a scene switch back to the Starry sword shop before the girls are chased by the dragon, and Keyfree does notice their absence, and he starts to question it. He asks Mr. Noah, my apprentices, have you seen them? I can't find them anywhere. And the shop owner is like, so Keyfree is starting to notice their absence. If you have not picked up this manga, I highly suggest it. There's some really good bonus pages at the end that gives you more detailed information, breakdown on casting seal mechanics and details, and other different examples. So I do recommend this manga. I will be making videos on the chapters in Volume 2. I've read those chapters. The story is excellent. So I will cover those chapters as well. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, and comment for more coverage. Let me know in the comments what stood out to you regarding Chapter 5. I'll meet you at the next Pointed Hat discussion. Above all, let's keep talking manga. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for watching.